And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, today we're taking a look at a game from Asmadi Games called Heat. This is a heist game and includes drafting and trying to outguess your opponents in what they're going to do. Each person is running a heist, and you all have agreed to, hey, why not run your criminal heist at the same time? And so that way the police have to spread out looking for you all. Seems like a foolproof plan, right? This is a quick, little small card game. Here it is. The game takes place over 3 different heists, which you take a yellow chip off to show you're using each one. You're placed with 4 black chips to show the 4 actions that are taken in that round. You don't really need to do that part. You can just count 4 actions. It's not hard. But before each heist, there's going to be a drafting phase. You're going to get 5 cards. You don't look at them. They're placed in a deck in front of you, and you will draw 2 of these cards into your hand. You're going to pick one to keep, and then you're going to pass one. You'll be passed another card from the player, and then you'll draw a third card. You then will pick one of those 3 cards. It could be the one you passed, the one you kept, or the one you just drew. You will then get another card passed to you, and then you'll draw your last card here, and then you'll do that drafting one more time until you have 5 cards in your hand. Then, for 4 actions, each player is going to choose one of the cards in their hand, place them face down, reveal them, play them all simultaneously. There are cards that have A, B's, and C's on them, and some cards have multiple letters on them. All the A's go off first, then the B's, then the C's. What do the cards do? We'll start with the B cards. B cards are the ways to get money, which is how you win the game. You want to have the most money. So if you play this card, you simply get $2. Here you get $3, but you get a heat. What that means is you'll take the lowest cost heat on the board. So I'll take this one and put it in front of myself. Okay, heat can be dangerous, and you want to get rid of it if possible. Here you take 2 heat, and then if no one else has played a bank job, if you're the only person who's played a bank job, you're going to get $5. Otherwise, you get nothing. Here you get $2 for every B card that you have in your record, cards that you've already played, and then you get 1 heat for every heavy that anyone else has possibly played. A cards help get rid of the heat that's played. So, for example, here you might return a heat. If anyone else played a lay low this step, you can return 2 more heat. Or here, return 1 heat, and all B cards in this step gain the additional text, take 1 heat. So you can make other people add take 1 heat. If you have the least money, you get $3. Otherwise, draw a card. So there's different cards like that. Then the C cards, here you get money equal to the current heat cost. The current heat cost is going to be the lowest row that's completely empty. So right now, the current heat cost is 1. Here, if you have more heat than anyone else, gain $4. Otherwise, you get 1. Here you get $1 for every player with heat. Now, at the end of the B round, or at the beginning of the B round, before everyone takes their money, you look. If there's, let's say, 3 people are about to take heat, but there's only 2 heat left. At that point in time, then there are consequences. There's 2 ways to do consequences. One, every player who has a heat returns that heat, and they lose $3. Or, the game includes this mini expansion, you just draw one of these cards, like for example here, a wiretap. All players return 1 heat. The player or players with the most heat must reveal their hand. Or the player or player with the most heat return half their heat. So sometimes they're not so bad. Sometimes all players return 1 heat. Any player who does loses $3. All players return 1 heat. The player with the most heat loses 5. So you keep going on. You keep doing this. After everyone has played 4 cards, you will start another round, drafting, this time passing to the right instead of the left. Then you do a 3rd round, etc. After all the rounds, you're going to count up your money. However, each heat token that you have is worth negative money equal to the row that's completely empty. So if all the heat tokens are gone, they would be worth negative $5 each. But let's say it was like this here. They would each be minus $3 each because that's the only row that's completely empty. Player with the most money is the winner. I tend to like drafting games, and I enjoy ones like this because you get to see the cards that you possibly are passing to the person. So I know I passed you a bank job. If I get a bank job, I don't know if I'm going to play it because we're both playing the same cards. The game says you can talk up what you're going to do, and you can, but this game just doesn't happen naturally. You would have to force it. There's not a whole lot of, well, I'm going to play this, I hope someone else does. I mean, you can do that, but it just doesn't. It's not something I see that flows smoothly throughout the game. The tiddlywink money and tokens are, well, they're garbage, really. But they fit in the game. The artwork and card design is nice. Something I don't often say about Asmadi Games. The whole thing takes place for less than 30 minutes, and it's easy. And you always are struggling with this, I can't afford to have too much heat, because you can get a lot of money by taking a lot of heat, but at the same time, then you have to get rid of all that heat. And so you're guessing, will that other player get rid of heat this turn, or is he going to do the bank job? What cards are people going to play? And after you play a couple rounds, you'll know pretty much every card in the deck. And I think it flows very smoothly and easily. I don't know if there's as many aha moments in this game as I would like. There's a few cards that provide that, but most cards are like, I took $2, I got rid of some heat, I did this. And that's interesting, and it's entertaining, but I felt like this game is missing just a little bit of a punch that it could have, especially for a game where you're all criminals and conducting heists. So it's an interesting game, and I enjoy it. I just don't know that I love it. It feels like it's missing just a little bit to keep it from being a great card game. Still, love drafting, love the idea of playing cards simultaneously and outguessing other opponents. So if you also like that, you'll probably like the Heat. Dice Tower Judgments, approved.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.